Hello and welcome to this channel about cryptocurrency education. Today I'd like to talk about, did Cardano promise too much? Now, Charles Hoskinson, obviously last year in a tweet, he promised that there would be, this year, there would be thousands of dApps, by this time this year, thousands of dApps, hundreds of assets running on Cardano, tons of interesting projects and lots of unique use and utility. Now, obviously he was sort of wrong with that because at the moment, we have no applications really running live on Cardano. We are still in the Alonso rollout phase, so at around August, probably September, we will hopefully see the launch of the mainnet, and at that point smart contracts will become live. But because Cardano is a bit late and they sort of failed to deliver, there was this huge backlash, and it was on all the crypto news sites, that there's huge criticism apparently. Now, to be honest, I don't agree with that. Obviously what happened last year was that he issued that tweet. He said that this was his prediction, that by that time this year, so yeah, round about June, July, there would be so many dApps and applications running on Cardano. But obviously they are a bit late. But what he was actually right with is that there are hundreds of assets running on Cardano. I think, and I saw it a few days ago, I think it's actually more than 7,000 coins currently related to Cardano. So these are running on Cardano. But a point of sort of criticism, what are the significant ones? There aren't really any major or significant ones yet, but I believe that's due to the case because the Cardano mainnet isn't rolled out yet. Obviously, there is not the real application for them right at this moment, but that will come, I believe, in the next 60 to 90 days. That is when we will see these tons of interesting projects. I mean, the tons of interesting projects that they are in the background, but we need to wait for the mainnet to go live. We need to wait for this, and honestly, it's only like a matter of maybe 2 months, hopefully, that we will see this launch and that everything will go live, and then this will all come to the surface, I think. Also, I think, of course, the Cardano Foundation, they need to set themselves these targets because like every business or like every foundation, especially in this environment, you have to set yourself ambitious targets. If you don't, I mean, what is that? Are you not ambitious then? So if you believe that you can do it, obviously you need to set yourself targets. It's a new technology, we don't know what we don't know, right? So there could always happen things that then lead to a sort of delay in this. And like any major business, they have to set themselves targets. Just imagine that Amazon wouldn't set themselves high targets, and then sometimes they fail on them, and that's what it is. I mean, to be honest, it's not like a proper business where you have like a public company where you have proper goals and targets, and then you have to do your reforecasting, and then you can adjust your plan and stuff like that. So obviously it wasn't that. It was just a tweet he issued last year. They are not like a major business where they, as I said, have a plan for the next year and then they have to reforecast and stuff like that, financial targets and everything. They will have them, but this is not what this is about. This was just a tweet. So what they obviously have to do, they have to make the project interesting. They have to make themselves known. Yeah, and I think they've done a pretty good job with that. I mean, look at this. There's this huge community, actually. There's such a big community and so many people really being so much, you could say addicted to Cardano. People really supporting this project. People loving this project. And, they've done a bloody good job in making sure the marketing worked, to make sure that everybody understood how great they are, that everybody understood how great this project actually is. And honestly, if they just fail to deliver the target and it's just delayed a little bit, that is not a major problem in my opinion. It is not a major problem. That I would actually be disappointed if they didn't set themselves these high targets. But if they said, okay, maybe we'll have a few assets and maybe 100 dApps, that wouldn't make that project so attractive. But because they did that, I guess this is like a continuous cycle. So because they did that, more projects became interested, more people became interested, more projects are being launched. So it's like the self-fulfilling prophecy. And I think they did a really, really good job. So I believe this year still, obviously, we will see the $5. That's my personal price prediction for this year, end of the year, end of the bull market. I hope that it will come true. But if it doesn't, even then, I'm invested in the long term. So even if it doesn't happen this year, it might happen next year. If it doesn't happen next year, it might happen 2023. I don't really care. In the long run, if I buy at 140 or if I buy at 130, if I buy at 190, it doesn't make a great difference in the long run when I believe the prices will go up to 10, maybe $20 one day, and maybe even higher. There have even been people talking about $100. Now I don't see that coming. I think there will be a lot of competition in the next few years between, I think, Cardano, IOTA, and maybe Quant with regards to who will be like the number 3. Not really so much in application, not necessarily, or use case, but it's more about the, what will be the third largest cryptocurrency, because I think Ethereum will probably overtake Bitcoin. That's my point of view. Then we'll have Bitcoin possibly number 2, and then we'll have either Cardano or IOTA or Quant, or maybe even VeChain number 3, and we will see what happens. But nevertheless, whatever happens, it doesn't so much matter if there's a number 2 or number 3 or number 4 crypto project. It doesn't really so much matter by market cap. What matters is that the project, like Cardano, which has a very interesting and useful use case, will have its place somewhere. And I believe it will be, like in the top 5, certainly. We don't know what happened. Maybe it even overtakes Ethereum. Maybe it will one day, and it could all happen. But we'll see. I believe it's still, Ethereum is so established. A lot needs to happen so that can happen. But nevertheless, I'm extremely bullish on Cardano. It's one of the best projects out there, I think. I think a lot of the other projects that are currently out there won't survive. But I believe Cardano will have its place. It will grow. And, they talked about having companies like the, 1 billion users in a few years. Is that realistic? I don't know, but maybe it is. That's one of their goals. Then they want to have, by 2026, I think they want to have 10 of the biggest companies in the world sort of related to Cardano. So either invested or working together with them. And then next year they talked about having financial systems established with like 50 banks, 50 major banks. Maybe in Africa, maybe even in other countries. We'll see. But these are very ambitious targets. Really very bullish. Really love this project. I believe we'll see the $5 this year. But if not, then, it might happen next year or the year after. Who knows? All right, so hopefully you liked that video. If you did, then please smash the like button. And if you want to follow me on this crypto journey, then subscribe to the channel. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye.